Lindsay Theory, Gary Klein for the Los Angeles Times. We're about a week and a half into Rams training camp. Monday, a pretty long workout for the Rams. They'll be off on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, the second of two joint practices with the Chargers. It is open to the public at UC Irvine. Gary, I don't think that fans, however, should expect to see defensive lineman Aaron Donald. He's getting fined $40,000 a day. That, though, doesn't seem to be quite enough incentive for him to get back to camp and sign any kind of contract.
If Aaron Donald shows up on Wednesday, that will be the biggest surprise, welcome surprise by the Rams and their coaching staff. No end in sight to this. As you mentioned, he's been holding out. The Rams are trying to make do. But really, at some point, even if you're a coach and you're saying, hey, we have to make do with what we have here and get them ready, the closer it gets to the regular season without Aaron Donald has got to be affecting a team that's installing a new 3-4 defense.
The Sunday after the Rams joint practice with the Chargers was a pretty light day. Coach Sean McVay said he just wanted his team to get some mental reps. However, they got after it on Monday. A lot of 11-on-11 drills. And I have to say the secondary really stood out. They got their hands on a lot of balls, disrupted a lot of plays. Jared Goff did get in at least one longish touchdown throw.
Goff had a nice throw to Cooper Kupp in the back corner of the end zone and over the shoulder catch by Kupp, which I think for the Rams coaching staff was probably pretty encouraging. But as you mentioned, that secondary has done a nice job, very aggressive on the corners. And today, the safeties really made several plays. They actually missed on a couple interceptions. Sean Mannion, the number 2 quarterback, threw a nice touchdown pass on a wheel route out of the backfield, read a blitz nicely. So there were some encouraging signs for the offense, but today I think it was mostly defense.
There seemed to be a lot of drops also for the offense. That's something, and some new receivers, they're missing some receivers. How long do you think it's going to be until Jared Goff and those receivers get on the same page?
I think a lot depends on when we see Tavon Austin back out there. The rookie Josh Reynolds is not practicing. They got some good news today with Mike Thomas coming off the physically unable to perform list, but he's suspended for the first 4 games of the regular season. He will practice, he'll play in the preseason, but you know, those are reps that are going to be going to him that might otherwise go to someone else.
The second joint practice with the Chargers, I'll personally be looking at the offensive line. It's not a glamour position by any measure, but it is among the groups where a lot of the Rams' problems last season started. They made some changes there. Gary, there's plenty of other things to watch also for fans if they're coming out to see this joint practice. What will you be watching for?
Well, I will keep my eye on the offensive line just to see
That's 2 of us keeping an eye on the offensive line.
Just to see how Rob Havenstein is doing out at right tackle. That's where he started the last 2 seasons. They moved him to guard in the offseason, and now all of a sudden Jamon Brown is moving to guard and Havenstein's moving back outside. So we'll see how that plays out. But really, I think what I'm going to be watching, I think what most people are going to be watching, is how Jared Goff is progressing. Against the Chargers in the last practice, he looked very good in the 2-minute drill, but was kind of inconsistent throughout. So if you're the Rams coaching staff, I think you're looking for more consistency throughout the practice.
And after the last practice with the Chargers, Philip Rivers said that his team wasn't that great. They started slow and they still had plenty to work on. For the Rams, though, it didn't seem like they were really disrupting Philip Rivers all that much. How much of that really is due to the fact, though, that that defensive line isn't solidified and Aaron Donald isn't here?
I think it has a lot to do with it. It's not just the loss of Donald. Dominique Easley, who they were depending on, went down with a knee injury. So they're kind of scrambling around with what they've got. Ethan Westbrooks has been in there, Louis Trinket-Passat, some guys that are accustomed to playing but not in those starting roles. And we'll see if Michael Brockers, has a bigger role in this practice. He didn't in the last. So I'm saying the Rams have some issues up front, and Aaron Donald, the longer that goes on, the longer those issues are present.
The good news is, as they have told me several times, they're only like a week and a half into training camp. Training camp lasts another several weeks, so there's still some time for the Rams to figure it out. Of course, their first preseason game is going to be on Saturday, but in the meantime, they're going to look at the Chargers one more time and go against one more opponent. All right, with Gary, I'm Lindsay. We'll see you back out here on Wednesday covering the Rams.